Okay, today's topic is very, very useful to everybody. It's called changing poison into medicine. Every one of us, at some point in time, we will face difficulties, problems, and critical situations, at which time normal people, a lot of us, will be scared, worried, desperate, or they will even want to run away from the problem. But however, since I started to practice Nichiren Buddhism, I was told that we can turn poison into medicine. And ever since then, this theory has benefited me a lot. So this is why I'm sharing it with everyone. So you can also use this theory. So when you face problems or difficulties, you know you can do this. All right? And again, I repeat, when I first came to Australia, I also had a lot of problems. And a senior member in Australia said, Lydia, I have very strong faith in the Gohansen. Whatever comes to me will turn out to be a benefit. And again, it stays with me all the time. This is why, with this mentality, every problem came to me. Now, I have to say I'm a human. I would be unhappy. But then, very soon, I would turn it around and then try to overcome it with my practice. Okay, I'm going to start the article, which I got online, and then we'll follow up with the explanation later. Now, I'm going to start quoting a passage, a page or 2 pages of this theory. So I'm going to start to quote 2 pages of the theory that I got with my resources. We'll start. We all want to be happy, whether we are conscious of it or not. Almost everything we do is motivated by that desire. The desire is we want to be happy. Yet, despite our best efforts and intentions, our actions and the ways in which we respond to situations can end up having the opposite effect. This is easiest to observe in extreme circumstances. A conflict or misunderstanding, a destructive romantic entanglement, or a gambling addiction. But the same dynamics play out over the course of a lifetime, often in less dramatic fashion, shaping the character and quality of our lives. We respond in habitual ways to the events in our lives, often trying to avoid what is challenging or uncomfortable. This is what I just said. We try to run away from our problems. And when difficulties arise, we may suffer from a sense of hopelessness or fear. Well, this is human nature, all right? As I've just said, when we have problems, we are afraid or we lose hope. Okay, the next paragraph. Perceiving the reality of our lives. From a Buddhist perspective, it is the negative tendencies within our lives, such as egotism, greed, cowardice, which are the root of the problem. These distort our ability to clearly perceive our reality, causing us to respond to our environment and circumstances in ways that compromise our own happiness and lead us to become entrenched in negative patterns of behavior. Ultimately, all such tendencies can be traced to a lack of belief in the dignity and potential of our lives and the lives of all others. For example, sometimes when we have a problem or when we have a health problem, including me, then I will be nervous and afraid. Now, it's like a pattern. It's this pattern that affects our happiness. But instead, if we have strong faith, we know that everything will be all right. With our chanting and the wisdom we get from chanting, we can overcome all our problems and illness. And this is what I have experienced also. Next paragraph. When we are rooted in a sense of expansiveness of our lives, expansiveness, expansiveness, not the other word, expansive. Expansiveness which expand our lives. We can face our circumstances squarely with confidence and embracing spirit. This unleashes innate qualities of courage, wisdom, and compassion, enabling us to steer the situation toward a more positive outcome. Now, these qualities, courage, wisdom, compassion, are the qualities of Buddhahood, which we all have inside us. Wisdom enables us to choose the kinds of responses and courses of action that will lead to positive change. For example, if we have wisdom, when a problem comes along, we know why we have this problem, the reason we have this problem, and we have got the wisdom to find a solution to face our problem, to handle our problem. Now, if we have this wisdom, then we will have courage to face our problem. And this courage gives us the ability to confront situations and persevere until we create a breakthrough. So I will be sharing several experiences with you later to confirm this point. Because without courage, you'll run away from your problems. But with courage, and then the wisdom to know how to solve the problem, you will face your problem squarely and take the right action to solve your problem. Compassion expands and deepens our motivation by making us aware of the suffering of others, including those involved with us in a challenging situation. This is a process that SGI members refer to as changing poison into medicine. Now, compassion is also very important because very often we come across members who have problems. And if we do not have compassion, we cannot feel their pain and we cannot give the proper encouragement to help them to go on. And the more compassion we have, the more we want people to be happy. The more we help people, the happier we become. So it all comes back to us. Next paragraph. The medicine of the Lotus Sutra. Nichiren perceived that among the Buddhist sutras, it is the Lotus Sutra that teaches that Buddha nature is inherent in the life of absolutely everyone, including those normally thought incapable of attaining Buddhahood. Well, this refers to the oldest sect of Buddhism, which says that woman cannot be a Buddha, and there are some kind of lower form of life cannot become Buddha. But in fact, this is not true. Buddhahood exists in all forms of living being, including human, animals, plants, everything, or fishes or animals. To this end, Nichiren quotes an influential 3rd century Buddhist text that states that the Lotus Sutra is like a great physician who can change poison into medicine. The Lotus Sutra teaches, in other words, that each of us already possesses the wisdom, courage, and other qualities of the Buddha. Changing poison into medicine begins when we face difficulties with the confidence that we have within us the full resources to overcome them. Please remember, when we have problems, we know we have the full power to overcome them. This is very, very important. In the context of our daily lives, the process of changing poison into medicine begins when we face difficulties with the confidence that we have within us the full resources and power to overcome them. Problems are problems precisely because we doubt our ability to the full resources to overcome them. But when we confront challenging circumstances with faith in the unlimited potential of our innate Buddhahood, we change our life state and transform our diluted responses. This is what Nichiren refers to as the Dharma body in the positive cycle described above. From this confidence arises the wisdom to clearly perceive our circumstances and the courage to face and fight on in the midst of difficulties. In this way, we are able to concretely transform our circumstances and experience a growing sense of freedom, Such experiences, in turn, reinforce our faith in our inherent Buddha nature. I'll share with you an experience which I shared with a Hong Kong member yesterday. This member was offered a job in the accounting business for data input. And she told me that she had the fear of Excel. When she looked at all the squares, she got dizzy and discouraged. But if she is in this business, she had to use Excel to input all the information. But she's got a very supportive boss. So whenever she's got a problem, the boss was very supportive and tried to coach her and give her chances. But still, she was very negative. Until, I think a couple of days ago, she told me, all of a sudden, she started to talk to herself. She said, I have to overcome this problem. She said, this is only within myself. So she chanted to the Gohonzon to be able to overcome her fear of the squares. And she told me that very quickly afterwards, it didn't bother her anymore and she could do the job. So this is the courage to face and fight with her chanting. As SGI President Daisaku Ikeda states, to change poison into medicine is to transform even the greatest evil into the greatest good. One does not simply return to zero, as it were, but one actually gains from the experience that one seemed so poisonous. The Buddhist practice taught by Nichiren, centered on chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, is, in one sense, the practice of affirming faith in our inherent Buddhahood. This faith makes it possible for us to turn difficult experiences into opportunities, to deepen our self-understanding, to strengthen and develop our courage and compassion, to grow in vitality and wisdom, and ultimately to realize a limitless, expansive state of life. Now, I just wonder if you notice that many times this paragraph, this whole script mentioned many times about realizing our potential, our power, our Buddhahood. So if you realize that we are all Buddhas, we have got unlimited power in ourselves to overcome anything, then you are not afraid. Now again, what I've told you about are just words and theories. Unless we can put the words and theories to help us in daily life, they are meaningless. They are just words. So I'm going to share with you quite a few experiences to explain this theory.